Hey there, Colleen here, DIYer behind LemonThistle.com, and today I am so excited to share the Tux house reveal with you all. So I am sitting here in my own home in Kamloops, British Columbia. If you remember, a few months ago I introduced to you Tux house, which is a charming little 1945 house in Calgary, Alberta that we bought in the spring and are turning into an Airbnb or a short-term rental. So we are finally ready to share that with you today. I am so excited. This is our absolute biggest project that we have ever taken on. A whole house, up and down, in less than 2 months. It is months later now, and I still feel like I'm recovering a little bit. Honestly, it was a really big project, but it's done and I'm so happy and I'm excited to share it all with you. I did have a few sponsors that helped with this project. Big thank you to Mitri, Benjamin Moore, M-Tech, and the Poster Store for partnering on this space. So before we get into it, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure to do that below so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. All right, let's dig in. So the first thing I want to do is throw it back to the before. Now, this house was mostly original to 1945. However, some renovations had been done, we're assuming kind of in the 80s, to both the bathroom and the kitchen on the main floor that took a lot of the character right out of those spaces. And so one of our goals with this renovation was to, of course, make it beautiful for guests, but to also put some of the character back into those spaces with a little bit of a renovation. Downstairs had been made into a legal 2-bedroom basement suite, so we wanted to run with that and furnish it as affordably as we could to make it into a short-term rental as well. So originally we had only planned on doing the upstairs as a short-term rental and then downstairs doing a long-term rental, but once we started buying stuff on Facebook Marketplace, things that didn't work upstairs, we're like, well, we could put that downstairs, and we realized we weren't that far off to make it an Airbnb down there as well. So on the exterior, we didn't really need to do much work. There was a window that needed replacing because it was cracked, that big picture window in the front, and then we had some of the wooden windows were kind of like rotting and water damaged, so my dad wire brushed those and cleaned those up and sealed them with a fresh coat of paint. So inside the main floor of the house, we really wanted to keep the wood floors, the original wood trim and wood doors, and beyond that, not much. In the bathroom, we did want to keep the clawfoot tub as well because that was my favorite part of the whole house, quite honestly. All right, so the first project that we took on in this house is the basement suite. We did the basement suite first so that we could live upstairs while we renovated down, and then we could live downstairs while we renovated up. We were only there like 50% of the time. I mean, our kids were still in school 8 hours away, so we were back and forth as much as we could be to do the work. So in the basement suite, the layout was a little bit funky. There was 2.5 bedrooms, and the only entrance to the bathroom was off of the back bedroom. So the first thing that we did is open up another door to the washroom to make it kind of a Jack and Jill style so that you can get in from the main area of the suite. Next up, we removed the dated kitchen that was there. Now, this kitchen was not just dated, but it was not functional. You couldn't even open the oven because the fridge was in the way. So we replaced this with a basic but beautiful IKEA kitchen with one of the IKEA countertops that is super pretty for the price. Now, we had a bunch of patching. There was actually no drywall behind the old kitchen when we tore it out, and patching around where we opened up the wall to add the door at the bottom of the stairs. And to avoid drywall work and waiting for that to mud, we chose to do beadboard, and we painted it out this beautiful green color. I love this green. The whole beadboard with the green really lends to a modern farmhouse feel that we kind of ran with the entire rest of the space. A couple of the things that we did not change in the house are the carpet, which is tan, and the flooring in the bathroom, which is also tan. So this green adds a little bit of color and life into the space, but works really well with the tan that we had to work with. We chose to paint everything out a nice bright white to freshen up the space and just bring some light back in here. The linoleum on the stairs was peeling, so we removed that and replaced it with vinyl plank, and then we put that same vinyl plank just right over the linoleum in the kitchen and added some new trim where it was needed. Other than the new flooring, the new kitchen, and paint, we also swapped out all of the light fixtures, and we did replace the bathroom vanity counter, sink, light, and mirror. These are really just some cosmetic changes that helped brighten up the space and make it feel a little bit more finished and modern and welcoming for guests lights. We furnished the whole space with Facebook Marketplace or furniture and items that we had on hand. You can see the couches here are the same ones that we had in our house about 5 years ago. And then all the beautiful art in this space is my dad's photography. He's an amazing landscape photographer, so we were able to use a bunch of his prints that he had in storage, and they work so well with the green that we used in the entryway and the kitchen. By changing the kitchen to just one straight run of cabinets, we were able to open up space for an eat-in kitchen so that guests can dine in their space instead of in the living room. I also really love the way that the bedrooms turned out. We have a queen bed in the front room, a king bed in the back bedroom, and then that bonus bedroom we turned into a bunk room. So it's really perfect for big families like ours to stay when they're in town. And then our kids actually crafted all of the art in the bunk room, which I think is really fun for a kid's space. All in all, I am super happy with how this basement suite turned out. It was a total budget project, but it feels so cozy and welcoming, and we have really enjoyed staying here with our family. All right, now on to the main floor of the house. I am so excited about these spaces. So the first project that we took on up here is gutting the bathroom. The bathroom was really the only room in the house that needed more than just cosmetic updates. The shower was leaking and it had caused some damage to the flooring. So of course we decided to keep the original clawfoot tub. It's so darn pretty. And the rest of that bathroom had been upgraded in like the 80s, so it really needed to go. There was nothing precious about any of it. I wanted to go with a classic black and white theme. A black and white tile is my favorite. I've done that in my own bathroom here. So I went into my flooring store in town here and I told them what I was looking for. I really wanted like a penny tile on the floor, I thought, and white tiles on the wall. Just something really classic but charming to stick with the age of the house, but with like a little bit of a modern twist. But of course, keeping in mind that I needed budget-friendly options. So what I walked away with is this 1-inch hexagon tile. These are the sheet tiles, very similar to what we used in our own washroom, except these are the kind of classic gloss tiles that were definitely around in the 50s. And I chose to do black on the floor with a white inlay pattern. I could only find pictures on Pinterest of white 1-inch hex floors with black inlay pattern, but I was kind of set on it. So we went ahead and we ordered it and we just went for it. And I'm so glad that we did. So to keep it nice and bright in here, we chose to go with a 4-inch square tile laid in a brick lay pattern for the shower and as like a 3/4 wrap around the room. After I saw the black floor with the white walls, I decided that the bathtub should probably be painted black too. So I painted it with an enamel paint and it looks so good against the black floor with those brass or gold legs. To keep the bathroom from feeling too stark and cold with all of the black and white, we wanted to warm it up with some wood details like a vanity made from an old dresser and by painting the top portion of the room this muddy green color. This is a really nice green. It's called Creekside Green from Benjamin Moore, and it has some brown undertones, so it's definitely warm. We then added brass finishes to the space, and I think that this makes it feel totally luxe and lovely, but also sticks with the classic feel and is a lot warmer than chrome finishes. The mirror is from HomeSense. It is my favorite place to buy affordable mirrors. All of the lights in this home makeover are just from Amazon. We really capitalized on the same day shipping of the big city, which we are not used to. It felt like such a treat. I can't even believe this is the same room as this before. If I were living here, I would love to add some plants on the windowsills and add a bigger piece of DIY art. We just honestly ran out of time. So maybe one day down the road, I'll make some big, beautiful art to put in there with a big wooden frame. But for now, I am so happy with this bathroom and how luxurious it feels, especially on a dime. All right, let's take a look at the bedrooms. So there are 2 bedrooms in this house, and they were both pretty plain, but they did have the beautiful original trim and doors with those glass doorknobs even on the closets. So I wanted to work with that wood trim. I am such a big fan of dark bedrooms. My own bedroom at home is black. Our old bedroom at our last house was navy. I just will forever be doing dark bedrooms. It's my favorite. It's cozy, it's so welcoming, and it just makes
makes the perfect place to fall asleep and to cozy up each night.
The color that we chose for this bedroom is called Taos Taupe, and it is from Benjamin Moore. And I never thought that I'd be choosing a brown for a bedroom after the early 2000s, but it is so beautiful and works really well with the wood trim.
So in this bedroom, we partnered with Mitri to do a molding wall on the headboard wall. This is just a classic picture frame molding with panel mold trim pieces. It's a really simple application. I have a full video tutorial on it from our own bedroom if you're interested. But it took only a few hours one afternoon, and it added so much texture and personality to this space. I love that a molding wall like this is classic, it won't go out of style, and it really helps add so much personality to a room without plastering the walls in art. We were short a king bed after all of our Facebook Marketplace purchases, so we actually ended up ordering this bed new. It's from Walmart. It was under $300 for a king bed frame, and it's so pretty. Anytime I do a bedroom, I kind of follow the same formula. I love dark walls, I love white bedding, full-length white curtains, and then if possible, of course, a molding wall and a rug. So you can see in here, I followed that. And then I love to add plants to any room at all. You can see I chose this hanging plant here. The hanging planter is from H&M Home. They have really beautiful accessories. The bathtub caddy was also from H&M Home. And then the nightstands and lamps are just from IKEA. The art on the wall here is DIY. It's actually from my last bedroom. It is so simple to make, and I do have a video tutorial, and the floating frames look so pretty against this taupe color. The other bedroom is this beautiful green color. I'm actually I need to find a place to use this green in my own home. I am such a big fan. It is called Forest Floor from Benjamin Moore, and this bedroom is a really great example of how just a few things can change the whole feel in a room. So again, I did dark paint with white bedding and white floor-length curtains. We swapped out the fan for an updated fan, and we thrifted the rest of the furniture in here. We weren't able to find a rug in our time frame, in our budget, so that's maybe something that we'll add down the road. But even just having that dark cozy paint on the walls with all of the white linens makes the space feel so cozy and so inviting. The art in here is from the poster store, and I chose these fun kind of floral pieces. I love the Frida one so much. I think that they just add a lot of personality to this space. And then of course, plants. All right, into the living room. My dad did spend some time and refinish the front door. It looks so beautiful now, and I love how it highlights the character of the original door. It is a really small entryway, but we wanted to make it functional, so we did add a small entry bench here. The light in the entryway casts the prettiest shadows into the living room. One of the things that I loved so much and wanted to highlight is these beautiful arches and the ceiling detail. So as much as I wanted to paint the rest of the house white, all the hallways and the kitchen, I wanted the living room to be slightly different, so the ceiling detail really stood out. We chose kind of like a light taupe or greige color. It's called Collingwood from Benjamin Moore, and it is so pretty. It's creamy and cool and warm all at the same time. It's honestly the perfect neutral, and it works so well with all the different wood tones in this space. We found this sofa at a thrift store in Vancouver. It was new in box from Article, and it is just so perfect. We had to snag it and build the whole living room around it. It's a really great neutral and gives a bit of a modern flair to the living room, especially with all of the other thrifted furniture around it. The little end tables are from IKEA as well, but other than that, we thrifted all the furniture. That table was $10. The console or buffet, whatever you want to call it there, was under $100. The chair was thrifted from our own storage room. And while we did have to do some refinishing of the furniture, it really helped us to stay on track budget-wise. We had a little bit of a workshop going in the garage, my sister and I sanding down and refinishing the different wood furniture in there, and then painting different pieces as we needed to. The rug was also Facebook Marketplace, and I'm so happy because I was looking at the same one online at Rugs USA, and we just happened to snag it in the right size for such a great deal. I think we got it for $100 as well. We stuck with the same brass finishes in here as well. I saw a beautiful starlight fixture that I loved, but the price was just out of our budget. I found this one on Amazon. It's super simple, but it has enough personality, and it just looks really pretty in this space. Over by that wingback chair, we did get this reading lamp. I think it's called a pharmacy lamp in brass as well. And so it makes the perfect spot to cozy up and to read the newspaper or to read your novel at night, whatever you like. This is Shane's favorite chair, and he sat here every single morning that we stayed. For decor, we kept it pretty simple. I would love to add a little bit more art when we go back next time. But for now, we kept the focus on the fireplace. So these prints here are from the poster store, and I love this kind of ballerina print. It is so pretty with the blues that tie in with the chair, and you'll see that that totally ties in with the kitchen as well. All right, the last room in the house, the most fun room, is the kitchen. So you can see as we walk out of the living room here, you walk onto that beautiful checkerboard floors. So one of the challenges for us was replacing the red linoleum that was in this kitchen because it needed to look good in the kitchen, but also in the hallway, so against the living room, the hallway, and the bathroom. And it had to be able to be cut on this kind of weird curve that's right here. I had dreams of a checkerboard floor, but I really, truly thought that it was out of our budget because it's a pretty large space. So when I went and talked to Complete Floors, which is my flooring store in Kamloops, they suggested something called VCT tile. Now, I had never heard of VCT tile, and she explained it to me as like what commercial stores use for their flooring because it's very durable and very affordable. And that did not sell me because I wanted it to be beautiful too. So she brought out these samples, and I was blown away. They are so much more cost effective than tile, and even more cost effective than vinyl tile, and they're more durable too. So we were able to get these for the kitchen. They are glue downs. We even saved a day in grouting, which for our tight timeline was amazing. And I love how we've laid them on an angle in kind of like that diamond pattern instead of a true checkerboard. When we were planning the kitchen renovation, I did mention that we were going to be painting the existing cabinets blue. Now, these cabinets were totally functional, so we could not justify getting rid of them or upgrading them, but it was honestly just such a white box, or like a creamy white, yellowing white box once you took away all of the red. I wanted to give it some character, some life back into this space. It is the only room in the house that doesn't have wood doors and wood trim, and it just looked really sad. So we chose to do blue paint on the cabinets and also to remove some of the upper cabinets. Now, the upper cabinets looked really squished to me because of the beam that runs through the center of the kitchen. By taking out the cabinets that were underneath the beam and to the left, it helped the kitchen feel so much more spacious, and it helped the ceilings feel higher. We added an open shelf to the left of the sink and a sconce over top of the sink where there was wiring before for under cabinet lighting. Now, if I was living here and if we had more time and if we had more budget, I would have moved the cabinets around a little bit more. I would have moved the dishwasher over closer to the fridge and the sink. But because we were on such a tight time frame, we didn't want to be moving any plumbing. So you can see that the oven is on the end of a cabinet run, which is not ideal. It's not super safe, especially for a house that will be renting out to families. So we moved that in one cabinet and just put the bank of drawers on the left here and kind of centered the stove on that wall. This is not ideal to have it so close to the dishwasher. It does make that corner cabinet very difficult to get into. You can still get everything out of it. I just wanted to recognize that it's not perfect, but it is very cost effective and it's beautiful and it's totally functional for what we need. There is a ton of storage in the pantry closet, which is that first door in the hallway there. In the pantry closet, we have the microwave, small appliances, and all sorts of food items and cleaning supplies. So it wasn't an issue to lose some of the cabinets in the kitchen for that open shelf and for the range hood. Like all the other rooms in the house, this was a combination of splurge and save. Some of the saves in the kitchen were the light fixtures. We ordered these all from Amazon once again. And we also ordered the faucet from Amazon. The countertop is a save. It's the same black IKEA countertop as the basement suite. We really loved it down there, so we just decided to do the same thing upstairs as well. We chose to upgrade the sink to a black stone sink, I love the way that this looks. It blends in beautifully with the countertop and really lets the gold fixtures stand out. The other gold hardware that we have in here is these beautiful satin brass pulls on the cabinets. These are so perfect for the blue. I really love how these look on here. Honestly, it was really difficult to find 3-inch pulls, but we wanted to work with the holes that were already in that cabinet. And I am so happy we found these gorgeous ones from M-Tech here. Cabinet pulls are one of those things, you use them every day and you can truly feel the quality of them. They are nice and heavy and just so gorgeous. We chose to do a tile backsplash, and because the tile setter was not available to do anymore, I did this one myself. Because of our tight timeline, I chose to try an adhesive tile stick sheet. For the first time ever, I usually just use mortar, but the way that this works is so cool. You just peel off the backing and affix it to the wall, and then you can tile directly on top of it. This helped it go so quick. I chose just to do a simple stacked square tile to keep it easy so I didn't have to do quite so many cuts as you would have to with a brick lay tile. The grout that we used in both the bathroom and the kitchen here is called Frost, and it's by Mapei. Not sure how we say that one. The white on the walls is called Baby's Breath by Benjamin Moore, and I really wanted to have a white here just to kind of let the room breathe. There is a lot going on with the checkerboard floors and the black countertops and the blue cabinets, and so having white walls really just gave everything some space. Because there is no dining room in this house, we were dealing with an eat-in kitchen. Our only choice here really was a round table, so we purchased a round table off of Facebook Marketplace, and when it got delivered to the garage, I was so disappointed to see that it was not actually solid wood. But there was a solid wood round up in the rafters of the garage as we were working, so we pulled that down and we kind of Frankensteined together the apron and the legs of the table that we purchased, because that was all solid wood, with the tabletop that we found from up above, and I just routed the edge to give it a more traditional look, and then we stained it all to match. I couldn't find any secondhand chairs like I was dreaming of, so I did order these ones new from Wayfair, and they definitely help pull together the space with that modern but classic design that I was really hoping for. Most of the decor on the open shelving is pretty practical with the wine glasses and the mugs, but we also have some art in the space. The art is from the poster store, and I really love how this big cocktails art with the apron hung on a brass hook we found in the garage helps fill the big empty wall. So one of the last minute decisions that we made here was to paint the patio doors blue to match the cabinets. This really helped balance the room instead of having the blue all on just one side of the space. This is actually the main entrance for the house. The front door, it still has the original Art Deco handle set, so we didn't want to mess with that and put a smart lock in there. So I think one of the coolest products that we actually used in this renovation is this lock set here. We've used smart locks plenty of times before, but this is by far the coolest one. It is from M-Tech. It is their M-powered motorized lock and keypad, and it works with Yale Technologies. So our property manager was able to hook up to it as well. It just looks incredible. We're able to set temporary key codes for guests and for cleaners, and we're able to see if it is unlocked, locked, or even if the door is left ajar. While we were painting doors blue, we went ahead and we painted the doors in the hallway blue as well. I had mentioned that we closed off the stairway to the basement to make a laundry closet, so you can see that here. And we decided to replace the doors that were there as well. So those doors had been replaced in the past renovation. They had no character at all. They were just doors. So we found these beautiful, beautiful doors from Meat Tree and Masonite. They're from the Heritage series, and they're the exact same profile as the original wood doors that we have throughout the rest of the house. It is so cool that they do match. It just looks like we've painted original doors, except, they're in excellent condition because they're brand new. So we painted those the fun blue of the cabinet, and I really love how it now makes a statement in the hallway instead of just a functional hallway. We used some beautiful casing from Meat Tree as well to trim those doors out. We finished it all off with glass doorknobs and then that flush mount light. It's a star. We have the same one in the bathroom. And I think that it's just such a fun view as you walk through the hallways. Definitely way cooler than just the white empty, boring hallway with the red floor that it was before. All right, so that is the inside of the home. I did just want to show you the deck as well. There is a backyard here for this house, so we have the deck set up with a patio table and chairs to enjoy dinner on. We honestly ate out here more than any other place when we were staying out here. The backyard is so nice and it's pretty private as well. There's also a fire pit. I love that Calgary allows fires. It's just so relaxing.
All in all, I am so happy with how this space turned out. Like any DIYer and home decor enthusiast, of course, I want to make some changes and some tweaks every time that we head back there, but I am really excited to be able to share this space with the world, and we were able to spend some time there at the end of the summer, meeting with a property manager, and we spent a few days doing touristy things in Calgary, like Callaway Park with our kids and the Science Center, and we just loved being there. It is such a cozy space. It is so welcoming, and I can't wait for other families to be able to experience that when they come to town too. So I will put the links to all of the room makeovers that I shared in this video down below. All of those room makeovers have sources for you if there's anything in there that you were looking at. And I will also put the links if you want to book it. If you're headed to Calgary anytime, you can book the upstairs or the downstairs through those links. I would love to know in the comment what your favorite feature of the house or the whole makeover in general is. I would say that mine is probably that I got to paint the bathtub black and how well that works with the black floor. That kind of felt like a big risk, but I really had to sell people on because I couldn't find, by people I mean like everybody that was in on this project with us, because I couldn't find good example pictures of a patterned tile floor like this with the black being the main color. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. We'll see you next time. It's done!